Last Saturday was an historic day for the Church of Ireland. They appointed their first ever female bishop, and she joins the 11 other members of the House of Bishops. And Reverend Pat Storey joins me now in studio. First off, Bishop, many congratulations on the appointment. You've been reported to have been quite shocked when you heard that you were going to be made into a bishop.
I certainly was, Keelin. I mean, I wasn't even in the running. I think my name came up at the meeting, and it was a complete and utter shock. And it really did take me a full week, I would say, to get my head around it and to think, you know, is this the right thing for me? Is God calling me to this? What's it going to mean for me and my family? Because for the first time, my husband and I have moved without the children because they're grown up. So that was a big thing, even moving 3 hours away from my daughter and my son.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely a shock.
And it's, I mean, obviously, personally, it's a very big thing for you, but it's a big thing for the Church of Ireland, isn't it? To finally see a woman in a position of authority like...
Yes, I mean, it probably was enough for me to think about what it meant for me. And I suppose I didn't really figure much. It wasn't that much in my mind about being the first woman because I was thinking, oh, my goodness, I'm going to be a bishop. And so I spent a lot of my time thinking about that. And I suppose it was only on Saturday at the consecration that I suddenly realised, gosh, this is actually historic. This is a historic day.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in the church, so I kind of came late into ministry, came late into faith.
Came late into faith, even, really?
I did, yeah. I was 20 before I ever really started going to church.
And had you a belief in God even before that?
Vaguely, I would say, yes. I would say a belief in God, but I wouldn't say I had personal faith. And I suppose the big thing for me, the change, was that I suddenly feel now that I'm not alone. And I would say that that's the message of hope that I would bring for people, is that I never feel alone now. And that's a huge thing because there's such loneliness in the world and feelings of abandonment and estrangement. People need to feel they belong.
And your faith has given you that sense of not feeling alone. We're just looking at the ceremony there the other day. I mean, it is terrific to see the reaction of the church. But going back to your own faith, what was it that suddenly changed for you, that you suddenly thought, actually, not only do I have a strong faith, but I want to be a priest? To be honest with you,
it probably sounds really boring, but it was reading the Bible. I started to read the Gospels, and I would say that the personality of Jesus just really jumped out to me, and I just found him such a warm, attractive person, and I actually just believed it was true as well. So it was a mixture of kind of truth, but also it really was, because I wasn't churched, I hadn't read the Gospels, so it was fresh and it was new, and I think we lose that freshness when we've been in the church for a while, so I try to retain that.
And you were in your 30s when you...
I was 34 when I started to train, and 37 when I got ordained, and I'm 53 now, and 2 grown-up kids. And I think one of the things I do bring is that I'm a wife and a mother, and there aren't any of those in the House of Bishops apart from me. And I'm really am an ordinary person and an ordinary wife and mother, and I think that's part of what you bring to it, is just that you have a normal experience of family life.
And can I ask you, Pat, I mean, you know, obviously with comparison to the Catholic Church, where not only are there no women priests, but celibacy would be an obstacle to any woman entering the church. I mean, would you have entered the church had celibacy been there?
I mean, obviously I don't know, but I don't think so. In that, I mean, family life is wonderful. I love my family. I often think that it must be a very lonely job being a priest, because you've nobody to come home and bounce things off and chat to. It's quite a stressful job. It can be a lonely job in any kind of leadership, and church leadership's the same. And to think that you've nobody really to go home and chat to, and nobody really to kind of separate family life from work life. You know, we go home and we all go out for a meal and we have a great time and a chat. And to me, family life's really important, and I love my family and they come first. So, yeah, it is quite different, and I do at times think it must be a very lonely job.
And do you think, I mean, obviously, we saw there in the pictures, there's quite a few ordained women priests now working in the Church of Ireland. What difference do you think that has made to the Church of Ireland, having women entering in and taking responsibility and having roles of power? I
think it's made a huge difference in that I think anything in life needs both genders. I really do. I think, you know, men and women bring, in some ways they bring different things. As I said, I can only bring me, and I happen to be married and I happen to be a mother, and I think I bring that. And I think, and I don't want to generalise, although I'm probably just about to, but I think women tend to be collegial, tend to be very focused on community and family. And I think that brings a different sense. You know, you still have the authority, but maybe you bring a slightly different collegiality to making decisions. And I think that there is an approachability if you're down to earth and you're normal and you have normal interests. You know, I walk my dog and I swim and I I do a bit of creative writing.
Very briefly, can I ask you, there has been a lot of controversy about women entering the church in the first place and then being made into bishops. What reaction have you got from the more conservative elements of the church to date?
Well, I've had, first of all, I've had overwhelmingly good wishes. Nobody has approached me personally from a conservative point of view. I'm sure it's out there and I respect it. People are entitled to their own theological opinions, and I had to work through women in leadership for myself theologically, so I understand it. But I don't think really it's a huge issue in the Church of Ireland. I really did get, you know, cross-community overwhelming support as well. In Derry, it was a wonderful moment when it was announced, and you know, I think it's been really good for the church.
Well, again, many congratulations and the very best of luck with the new role.
Thank you, Keelin.
Thanks.